Hi. I just want to talk about the price of gasoline in the United States of America briefly, and I found the failure of American ingenuity in accomplishing a fair gas price so that we won't have this terrible economy that George Bush has left us with. And one of the things we need is investigations. One of the things we need are investigations into um, these oil companies really just screwing over the American people. We need tax credits that are tied to development of new energy sources and not just tax credits that are given out to rich companies so they can make more money. This is just a handout to the rich. One of the ideas I had and had tried to pitch to Volkswagens on numerous occasions is the bug. Volkswagen bug, that little bump. And creating a hybrid diesel from that with a wind turbine. And I like the idea because it works on so many different levels. I guarantee you that if you have the right engineering placed into the car, um, that it can get over 100 miles per gallon, even though we need a different term than 100 miles per gallon. Um, Geo Metros right now, the old Geo Metros, 3 cylinders, we're getting 40 to 50 miles per gallon. So the government standard is stupid. It's ridiculous to say that we should get 40 miles per gallon. I was getting it on an old Volvo years ago. we get we've gone backwards on trying to save energy. Now these ideas are going to be the innovators in the new millennium aren't going to be the ones that create these ideas. Um, I have an idea for a furnace, so you would get the heat to create a turbine or some kind of power that would turn a mechanism and generate electricity from a furnace that's already burning fuel. So recapturing that fuel. So here's an idea. Actually put into practice. Mine's a retrofit. Their product costs about $6,000. With appropriate engineering, we can create this program. How about a solar roof? I always wonder why we have shingles on our roof. What if we just ran piping through the roof instead and had actual solar roofs that allowed power or heat to go into the attics and be forced down? Even in smaller areas or areas that don't get a lot of sunlight, at least it'd be something. It'd be a small contribution to this energy problem. Micro mills. Using this tiny windmills. Yesterday the wind was about 40, 50 miles per hour out here in New Hampshire, yet we don't see any windmills. Very simple ideas, very simple concepts. Generating energy through the use of cars passing by roads. There's another one. I just recently saw one. Some engineers have created a product that when you walk on it will create energy to heat subway stations. It's a very similar approach. If the cars are passing by, they're generating some kind of energy. And I also like that in that VW idea, and I pitched it, that it actually have some kind of turbine, very light turbine, so it would generate electricity. And instead of using batteries, why don't we use a capacitor? Capacitor. I've had this idea for years. I see MIT is working on it, the gigantic capacitor. Lightweight, stores high energy. Use the framework of a car to be a capacitor instead of having this battery. The battery really doesn't do much in a car. It stores energy. I think there's cheaper and better ways of storing energy. Geothermal pipeline. I can go on and on. In Pennsylvania, we have heat that's coming up from the ground because of burning fuel, because of burning coal, and yet it's not being captured. It's just being released into the air. We had Centralia. It's not being captured. That 80 degrees, 90 degrees at the temperature is coming out of the ground. Still a problem. Some smart engineer can come up with the idea of how to capture this and how to use it to generate electricity. Now, the problem I see is that the government really doesn't care about us. If you're poor, the government doesn't really care about you. They're taking away programs for the poor. I would love to create a new program that was similar to CETA, but that worked well. Um, let's go back to the things that worked. Um, and so these are just some of the ideas that I've had. I'm sure there's a lot more ideas out there that people have. But when the government comes out and says that a 40 mile to gallon car is the latest trend, we know that the government's not on our side. It's not on the people, the workers' side. Car sharing is another idea. Uh, there's so many ideas that have come out there. But there's at least four great ideas that we can use on a local level, and this is being ignored by our government. So I thank you for your time. If you have any interest, you can reach me at bucklaw@hotmail.com, bucklaw @hotmail.com. And lastly, my website regarding homeless veterans. I guess nobody really cares about that. But if you do, if you're one of the few people that do care, it's Patriotic Mission, one word, http:// patriotic mission .blogspot.com. And you can get some information about my program with homeless veterans and putting people back to work as they should be back to work. But this isn't a Democratic problem. This isn't a Republican problem. It's an American problem, and it's going to take real Americans to get their job done and create a green society. And that's capable. There's even programs out there. Another one I just came up with thinking about in San Francisco, using compost piles to generate electricity and generate heat. There is no energy crisis in the United States. This has been a fixed problem by the George Bush administration. Vote George Bush if you want more of the same, or vote Republican if you want more of the same. If you don't, if you want something different, then vote Democrats, and hopefully they'll pick up the slack. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.